إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. صلوا في بيوتكم. صلوا في بيوتكم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة العالية الرفيعة وابعثه الله المقام المحمود الذي وعدته إنك سبحانك لا تخلف الميعاد.
يا من هو الله الذي لا إله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to our beautiful mothers and our fathers, our grandparents and our ancestors. It is the 26 من 3446 هجري الموافق يوم الاثنين، وهي دائما تسمىها بيوم الأم. Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. It is 1818 on the 26th of the 3rd, 1446 Hijri, coming to you live from this beautiful city down here on the furthest end of the African continent, the Cape of Good Hope, as we record this live to establish the criteria that we need to understand how to exit the illusional paradigms that we were misled in, and we were underprivileged to understand prior to the COVID period of our lives. We call it the BC and the AC. The BC is before conscious and the AC is after conscious. Okay. Your adversaries, your governments are all aware of how you are being subjects of them as they prey on your electricity and on your food inflations and how they control your gods. Okay. Nevertheless, people, today we're going to continue as we always do so that we can shift in this new catalog of transitions and transformations that is happening in the universal and space of divine interpretations. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. We are all privileged on earth as to when we are seated on a mission, which we call a ba'ath. Okay, each of us have will, and each of us has determination, and each of us has to find self. So when you uncover the self and you apply your determination, then that is how the Lord of the worlds, the Alimul Ghaibi wa Shahadat, He, Allah, the prime creator, He does not have a gender. I cannot call Him a He. So I will use the word the prime source of creation, will identify with your ambitions, your visions, and your need for transformation. Right. The universal the universal entry level is it's not children's play. Okay. As adults, if you reach a certain stage of your evolution of conscious, then you should be transcending the physical habits, okay, the physical addictions, the physical illusions. Okay, you become a bit more matured in the way that you identify with truth. Okay, the way you identify with gods, the way you identify with partners of God, the mere addictions that you maintain, that needs to be treated. That is an illness. That is a cancer in your system. That is it is something that is weakening your spiritual and conscious higher self. Okay, it detaches you from the true reality of your evolution, because when you are still stuck in that phase of your evolution of awakening, of having to experience your yawmul qiyam, then it could lead you to missing the boat, like I have previously mentioned to you. Okay, so many of us are given this opportunity once in a blue moon, as what we're going to now expect 2 moons. Okay, there's 2 moons now in terms of the physical moon that you see on the outside and the metaphysical moon that you're supposed to see on the inside. Okay, the moon, the sun is the generator, the moon is the alternator. Okay, so the one complements the other, but the moon can be out when the sun is there, but the sun cannot be out when the moon is in the night. Okay, this is what we're going to tackle with you people today, because it's all in your minds. You are just not aware of what is happening up in your conscious because of the information that you had learned and studied and been successful in the schools. Now that information at this moment in civilizations in the heavens, it doesn't anymore correlate to truth. Okay, and that is how we now have to upgrade ourselves and the next generations so that they can collaborate with truth as to what they see within is what they confirm on the outside. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So when we say the shift is in, people, we are actually just saying that it's time for us to realize that change is imminent in every faculty of your incarnation and of your transitions and of your transhumanism. Let's put it that way. For you and I, we have to reconcile and understand that we, as a passing civilization, we had stagnated. We had become alien to our very own nature. Okay, we could not determine what truth was. We had to learn the truth from our adversary. We had to learn to find gods from our colonialists, and we had to learn history from the one that conquered us. Okay, so you can well imagine by now what your next generations will be forecasting on how your lives will be self-destroyed. Okay, the illusion and the money magic and the sex magic, it became too obvious. And you work for 40 years of your life and you take nothing with you, but you want your children to believe it's real. And then you give them a religion and then you tell them that they're going to go to Jannah. Yet you are the manifestation of Jahannam as they see you living a lie. Okay? So, people, it's that time of the shift that you and I have to embrace the fact that you are going to be looked at in the archives of the history books as people who were slaves, but they were in denial. Okay, people who had committed grave sin of associating partners to gods and to Allah, but they were in denial that they had been committing it because they had been given licenses by their religious authorities. Okay. Anyway, that's everybody's right. They can do as they will. But for us, as an update this evening, mashallah, for all of those who are in Makkah and in Medina and all around the world, it is the time that we need to embrace that we are more than just our physical bodies. We are more than just our ego conscious. We are more than just our lower physical corpse. Okay. It's time that we understand who actually we are and how we are operational, and that there is a higher operation in existence, but we are just heedless of that higher self, that higher being, the higher being that is the Zawj. Okay, that is your inner self and your partner that you need to get to embrace and to understand and understand and overstand how she is programmed, how she is able to read the landscapes of the present and the future. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So people, Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. This is the age in which Allah speaks about سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها. You can no longer understand your book literally. You have to understand the fact that you are going through a dangerous shift of conscious. Okay? Whether you like it or not, people, you have to realize that you are going through a unavoidable transition and transformation of what was dark is going to be, the light is going to shine on it. Okay, there where you were hiding something, it's going to be exposed. There where you were shallow about something, it's going to be rise. It's going to raise the vibrations of humans understanding it into a different perspective. Okay, there where you had doubt, that is where the surety is going to be determined now. This is an age where you have to know. You just don't have to believe any longer. You've been believing for 50 years of your life, and yet you cannot understand a God or prove to your children where God is. Okay? So it gives them the right of knowledge to know that you don't know a God because you've just been creating gods and it became out of fashion. Okay? This is the age, this is the taqallub, people. This is the shift when you were going on and we were going on like copying and pasting and imitating and trying to be who we are not. This is the age where you and I get exposed because of being fake, okay? Of being unauthentic, of being dishonest, of being not following our inner self path, right? So the shift that we are speaking about here is the shift of the realities of conscious, the different levels of conscious, okay? So when you're a child, you have a certain level of innocence. And when you're an adult, then you purge from that illusional, fictional experiences, and you return back to your innocence, okay? Now, your innocence is sustained by a faculty of your brains that is connected to the higher order and conscious of the universe, okay? So when you want to understand where you're going to go when you are dead, you're just going to be going where you believe that you were supposed to go, okay? But that is a dark dungeon because it was not consistent with what was the reality of the age where you were supposed to find the transition and the upgrades. So when Allah says that قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ, This, what you and I are experiencing in life, is that when the sun sets, the darkness becomes overwhelming but natural to the higher self, because when you are at night, you are within yourself. Okay, that's why you can sleep, yani, because you are within yourself. That's why you can find to be more focused, because you are in your presence of who you are in your higher conscious. You're not much using your physicalness, you are using your higher astrologicalness, okay, your conscious presence, right? That's why you are natural at night, you are unnatural in the day. Okay, that is why you start your natural order by night and not by day. That is why your forefathers had told you, let your children come home before the sun sets, before Maghrib, and close the windows and put on the lights, because you were supposed to prepare for this transition in your lives, in your children's lives. Now your children is watching you guys and thinking, my God, het julle dan vergiet wat julle eie paas en julle oumas vir julle culture vir julle geleer het, dat daar gaan kom 'n tyd wat ons gaan lewe physiologically, astrologically, metaphysically, we're gonna have a altered state of reality. Die akhira gaan wees hier. Maar die manie paas nog altyd fisieke wat en waar is akhira nie. Hulle is nog altyd besig om die kinders te sê, moenie worry nie, alles is okay, maar dan verstaan die kinders dat die ouers is al lankal uit die huis uit, hulle was uit die huis uit gegooi, because hulle glo nie meer nie, hulle weet nie meer waar hulle moet wees nie. Understand what I'm saying? Okay, that's if you don't use your mind and you don't collaborate it with the truth inside of your heart. This is an intuitive time in your lives, in your civilization, in your children, in the next 7 generations' lives. This is an intuitive, spiritually enhanced period of how you can allow the next generations to fly into that cosmic library, so that they can understand themselves better than you and I. Okay, we were jinn people, we were captured, we don't know gods, we don't know where Jannah and Jahannam is until now. We are still having the greatest dark blackouts in our lives. The new children and the new smart systems, that is coming into civilization now, thanks to the ancestors, they must be taught who they are originally. Don't tell them who they're not, and don't let them be who they are not. Don't let them imitate something that you yourself couldn't find the truth in. Why do you want to send them down that same avenue and that same darkness? Why? Because if you don't know where to find your mother now today that has passed on, if you didn't keep the lights on, if you forgot who you are, okay, then why do you want to your next generations to go and be more messed up than what you and I became? Why? Are you selfish? Are you a bakhir? Or don't you want to share? Don't you want to realize that what the lifestyle that was that we were orientated in the Western influence was it was a demonic lifestyle? Don't you want to acknowledge that that was officially the hell, part of the journey? When are you going to become more transparent about what you had and what we had gone through and experienced, how riba became a necessity in our lives? Okay, how we allowed our enemies to feed our children and to educate our children and to culture our children and to give our children the go ahead to live in the Jahannam as they will. Is that what you had come here for? Anyway, people, the shift is into this age. We are here for the purpose of, we as the soul tribes, we are here for the purpose of not supervising, we are here to assist, basically. We're here to assist this transition, to bring sanity to those who has been chosen, who are from the Mustafas, okay, those who had surpassed the shallow visions, the artificial simulations, okay, those who had found their purpose, those who had found a higher version of truth, okay, those who had understood how to module an equilibrium in a paradise and paradigm, okay. Those are here, they will be rewarded very, very well. Okay. Your rewards are both in the dunya, and as you are now in the akhirah, you're going to enjoy it from a spiritual and an intellectual and a metaphysical form, okay, as well as be complemented, because you're not going to own it anymore. We're going to teach you what it is to live in Jannah, okay. I don't know how you can subscribe to a belief, but you don't know how to apply it in your lives. It's blind following. It's hell of a blind following. And to the extent that your enemies now, the minority in your province in the Western Cape are the white man, but they dominate everything. And you come from this land and they come from somewhere else. But that is how dumbed down we've become because of religion, okay, and of the educational systems. So the Al Jim Foundation, we have, as I explained to you last time already, we have to put this into the physical space, because we have to say the truth, basically, okay, and it has to be consolidated in the third dimension. So there's a need for us to revise ourselves, to rewrite our history, okay. We cannot write history about people we don't know and we did not see, and then just come up with ijazas and sanads and all this funny stuff, okay. Julle kan nie ijaza kry van julle eie maas en julle eie oupas en julle eie, wat julle vat dit van mense wat julle nog nooit gesien het op 'n stukkie papier, okay. These are the funny things that the jinn tribes gets carried away because they get some kind of an acknowledgement from some portfolio, wherever it is, but you can't even do it to your own. Your eie mense, your eie ouma, your eie oupa, ken sy nie, maar ek wil gaan ken mense wat van Nederlands af is. Don't you think that you are being misleading, and your children, I'm watching you, the parents, I'm watching the old people, and thinking, het julle dan regtig julle self so baie verloor, kan julle nie weet wie julle is nie? Now, if your children have to tell you as an elderly person, then you must have really lost the plot here. Okay? So that part of the structure is dismantled because there's no truth in it. It's a fake business. Okay? It's completely Hollywood. Right? Now, what we as a tribe have to do now in the south, yani, it's just how it is. So we take our khalifas, yani, okay? Die manne van die werk en die manne van die Samanweek en die manne van die Ratib en die mense van die Maulud en die mense, that is the bulk of the people here, guys. Don't get me wrong. The secularists and those who traded the cultural identities for fictional realities, and they have to live with the consequences. But the soul tribes, they are being financially, they are being spiritually and medically, with education, they are being really sorted out by the heavens, because they didn't believe in the lie like we believed and committed and contracted ourselves in something which was an illusion. And that matrix is now falling very fast. You can't stop it. You can't stop when night is coming. How do you stop it? It's natural. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to run away from the darkness. You have to ensure that you have a torch with you. You must know that there's going to come a light, and everybody's going to have to see through that light that is shining in the darkness. And if your light is not shining, and if you are not that level of that source, that transparency, then nobody's gonna know you are alive anymore. Nobody's gonna actually accept you to be part of a reality, because you have been shaded. You have been pushed aside, because you have you rebel. The light cannot submerge into you. There is nothing. You're not compatible with it. Okay, the light is the truth. The light is the change of the age, the taqallub, the night and the day and the night. We are coming now into the night. The night is the origin of everything. That is the feminine part. That is the hidden part of you. You're coming in again. Okay, and in that internal side, you're going to now have to consolidate the truth and how it is being monitored and how it is being regulated and how it is being balanced. This is how we're going through this thing, and how the truth is going to circumvent us. Okay, this is how this whole taqallub shift is happening throughout the universe. Okay, people, if you are not able to understand what is happening here, then you've missed the greatest opportunity of thousands of years of lives. Okay, then you have really forgotten who you are, and you forgot why you came, and your frequency has really hypnotized you to not understand where you were supposed to go to in this time of life. Okay, that is why you had COVID, people, man. You thought it was a mistake. You thought your gods that you believe in is dead gods. Your gods is dead because you don't know how God operates. You don't know what it is to have a God in your life. Okay, you have no relationship with your gods. You have no communication with him. You just do things because you're afraid you're gonna be punished. People, that's how you live in Jahannam. You are living in Jahannam the way you think. If you're in Jannah, if you're in your liberated space, there is no such a thing that the God does not speak to you, because the God is within you. You have initiation within you with the God. That's why you make dua and oh Allah, help me kin, oh Allah, help me vrouw, oh Allah, help thee. Now, how do you get that message to the God if he's not inside of you? But you cannot look inside because you live outside. If you know who you are, then you're supposed to open up that easily. And you can understand that that is where Jannah is, because where you're going to meet God in Jahannam. Okay? So that part of our evolution is truly, for me, it's a very difficult part to understand how human beings can really not understand who they are and how they are operational and how their minds are functioning and so forth. Anyway, it is also Yawmul Ithnain, and it is almost time for iftar. It's Abia Bukate. And subhanallah, people, it's things that if you're not going to get to terms with the shift that is coming in, with all due respect, the separation is going to come, because those who are shifting in the new paradigm of reality and of truth and of God and of Qiyam and of all these things, they're not going to be able to see you. They're not going, even if you are biological friends, whatever, you're not going to be part of this new world. It's really not it's not an easy task to say these things, but it's the truth, because it's in the Quran as is. Okay, now you're going to have to reconcile with your soul family, your soul tribe, the people that you can feel, and the people is who that is always going to be there for you. Okay, this was a time in life, okay, deliberately to see who is there and who is not there at the time that you need each other. This is a time in life. Those who have don't want to know anybody. Those who don't have, they need each other. Now that's the separation of life that comes. Okay. So you had a right to choose, go minimalistic and know the real people, or like live fictitiously and live a lie and find a false God. Okay. And believe that you only live once. Okay. Hy funny goed is wat julle dink. Now, this was the age for that, and we were given 5 years as to the Quran. وَالْخَامِسَةُ أَنَّ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيَّ إِن كُنْتُ مِنَ الْكَاذِبِينَ. Okay. Each one comes with his own task and in his own time. What your parents needed is not what you now require. What they did was fulfilling, but what you did was destructive. But you and I don't want to come to terms with that, because we are mos this was ding ons is slimmer as God. Okay. Now we are there in that stage that the shift is there, the need for embracing this new reality is on our doorstep. Many of us are living in that paradigm, okay, in that reality already, okay. That's Jannah. That's definitely Jannah. Whilst you are still waiting to die, Jannah had come and you couldn't find it. So which means what? It means that you are dead. Innaka maytun wa innahum maytun. You did not get the soul. You did not get the Rasul. You were just floating on the sea like the like die skyn wat op die water is. Jy het nie gekry die boodskap nie. Jy het nie gekry die risala nie. Jy het nie gesien die Rasul nie. Jy het nie gevoel die Rasul nie. That's when you do blind following in life. Okay? This is how it is cosmologically. We don't judge. We are just determining the separation of the order. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. It is almost that time for Maghrib again, mashallah. May Allah Ta'ala accept this beautiful evening. Baie honger vandag. And enjoy your iftar, inshallah. And shukran for your time. And barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى